Hey guys, what's up? So, this is a fun treat for me today. I finally got my drone. More specifically, I got my racer. Very interesting little quad. This is the Eachine 250. I ordered it off of Banggood. Well, most of it off of Banggood. I ordered the frame, the distribution board, the main parts, and bought the motors and the CC3D board separately. Instead of the 12 Amp ESCs that it came with, I got some 18 Amp BLHelis, and they definitely give it a lot more punch. I finally fixed my receiver. I was so happy about that. Let me show you what happened here real quick. I haven't flown in a while, probably 3 months because of this, but somehow, some way, in the process of all my fun, I managed to cut off my antenna on this receiver. Now, I'll take this over here and look. This is a 2.4 gigahertz receiver. Has to have a 3.25 centimeter length on it in order to catch the 325 centimeter wave band that 2.4 gigahertz puts out. Well, I managed to somehow shorten this, and it wasn't working properly, but it was still working, and somewhere in there the entire antenna came off right at the solder. So I spent like 3 days trying to make it work, and it didn't work. I popped 2 transistors right in here, and I was so upset. And then I found this old 2.4 gigahertz surveillance system that my dad had in the closet, and I was so happy because it uses directional antennas that use the same coaxial wire that we use on these. So of course, me being me, soldered on new, took the antenna grounding interference band. I don't really know exactly what to call this, I just know what it does. It prevents the outside interference from the ground affecting the positive 2.4 input, and I soldered that on through the top around the input wire back over to the board, of course. And I was missing the 2 transistors, which prevent current overload from the antenna. That causes bad signal, things like that, loss of range. But 20 feet definitely beats 4 feet, as you will see in the video. I flew it, and it flew pretty well and had some fun. Right through some stuff, much better than my Sky Viper. Not to give it any doubt, it's a fun little quad to play with. But finally got that working. I had to use my actual solder to bridge where the transistors weren't because I popped them off in my attempt to solder the antenna back on the original antenna, which, you know, that didn't happen. So finally got that working. I have new antennas coming in the mail, so proper range. I actually have a Turnigy X9 coming in the mail, which is going to be totally awesome because it actually has flight mode switches, and I can put it in acro and do flips and have some real fun and do some real race quad flying with it. But this thing's pretty sweet. It's got 2204s. They're not labeled Emax 2204s, but when you don't put the label on, they're just generic 2204s. It does have a vibration dampening pad on it for your GoPro or whatever board camera you want to use, and it does come with, in fact, a board camera. It comes with a, if I can get that lens off, a 1000 TVL camera, and I have that connected to a servo, which I can show you real fast. We plug that in. Yay! And as soon as I figure out what to do with my receiver, there it is. I'll pop that on. And what I did, because when you're flying FPV, this only comes with a stationary camera. You can move it, tilt it back, so when you are flying, you know, you're at the right angle. But if you're flying level or coming in for a landing, you're going to be looking up the whole time. So I got smart. My channel 1 is my vertical axis, or my pitch axis, and I have to reconnect my receiver now because I disconnected it. There we go. So for my pitch, I tied the servo in using the mixing on the actual receiver or transmitter on the computer, and took my channel 5 and I crossed it with my channel 1, which is my pitch, to give me this, a gimbal. Interesting. So when I pitch forward, so does the camera, and back, not so much. And I set this toggle here to actually go between my modes. If I'm flying really fast, it gives me a preset up pitch. That way when I get going, it gives me a really, really heavy high pitch. And of course my low back. When I'm in standard flight, just cruising around, you know, minimal pitch difference. Forward works, but reverse doesn't really. Anyway, real standard 9-gram servo, got it off of Amazon. I got like 6 of them for 20 bucks, no big deal. They're mechanical, so they're a little, you hear that? Always constantly trying to keep and adjust, and it does a little bit of damage on your battery, but it's only one servo, so it's cool. I just flew a 1300 45C for probably a good 10 minutes, which is awesome. I was flying earlier on my Lumineer 2250. It's a 35C, and it got maybe 18 minutes, and it was only like 3/4 of the way charged. So that's awesome. And this did come with a battery and a LiPo charger and 2 sets of props. I really wasn't disappointed with it, except for one thing: the video transmitter that it came with is a 600 milliwatt transmitter, it's supposed to be, and I have it right over here. I had it right over here. Oh no, where'd it go? I'm sorry, my room's very disorganized, and I may just cut this out. Maybe not. I'm a normal person. I don't really care. But, jeez, there it is. Part 1 and Part 2. So, it comes with this little 600 milliwatt transmitter inside with the 3-pin DIN for your TVL camera, and then 2-pin positive. It does have a microphone, which is right there, but it doesn't have an output for it, which I think is kind of dumb, but that's, you know, it's okay. The thing I was disappointed with is the transmitter came already set up on the board and everything, and screw my antenna in, program the CC3D board, plug the battery in, and it didn't work. Go figure. This came to me burned out, because they do initial testing on these, you know, their quality test, just to make sure it powers up, and something must have happened in their testing, or they didn't have the antenna on, they didn't have it grounded, or whatever it is, and it was already burned out. I will post a picture right in here somewhere so you can see it. There you go. And it was 164 degrees, which is way too high, and it actually got to 200 at one point. So beautiful there. But so I'm gonna go get another one, but it would have sucked anyway, because I can't race with other flyers on a 600 milliwatt transmitter, because it'll overpower their bands and their frequencies, and you know, if I get on the same channel or close to the same channel, it'll drown out their signal, and then next thing you know, they're crashing. So regulation with FPV racing says that you got to fly on a 200 milliwatt transmitter anyway. So yay and nay. I could have used this on my wing or one of my other planes maybe, but that's okay. Do get to keep the cloverleaf, because so far as I know, the cloverleaf isn't bad, so yay. And back to the drone here. The other thing I should have shown you, but I didn't when I plugged this in like a dummy, is it comes with something pretty sick. Check this out. I'm not going to point it directly at the camera because you'll go blind, but bam, look how bright that is. I mean, that's high definition on my face, which is something you don't want. And the tail light is one big LED strip, and you can change the light color. Purple, blue, turquoise, green, red. It goes back and forth. Personally, I kind of like the green and the purple. So we'll unplug that. And the servo is a really good idea for you guys if you order this, because on the top of the quad here, or the frame, you can see there's slats cut in. It's mostly for zip ties, or if you want to Velcro your battery on top and put your electronics on the inside. I put my battery on the inside and electronics on top. Some people think it should be the other way. It's all personal preference. But you can put your servo arm right through there, and then the actual board for the camera has holes in it where it mounts, and you just take the top mount off, which is your pitch adjust, and you wrap your servo wire through one of the holes and then back to the linkage arm. I may take the top off to show you guys. I don't really feel like doing it, sorry, but I will. Or I can just do this. Oh, servo, linkage arm goes through. I bent it so it will get around that bolt, and then it goes right up there to the back of the camera, and it loops in through that hole, and that gives me my back and forth pitch, because I have a duct tape hinge on the bottom up through the bottom mount, so that stays stationary while the top can move around. You will have to take a file or something to the board and the carbon fiber piece to get rid of the friction, because it's a friction fit camera. So if you want to have it on the servo gimbal, or you may not, you're definitely going to want to thin down the top of that board and get the edges off. You'll see it when you get it. If you get this one, you never know. There's a reason I went with this, because I'm not accustomed to flying race drones. I'm accustomed to flying camera drones and things like the Sky. Okay, so this is my first test. Flying with the Eachine Racer. This thing's got some headlights. We are going to figure out what happens. She's in all level mode, no acro. Let's put her up. Having a very hard time with this GoPro on it. At least I hope that's the only problem. Okay, well, I may have to take the GoPro off. Oh man, that was beautiful. Look at that, another broken prop. Right there, snapped right off. Beautiful. Let's see what happens. Huh. That was wonderful. Vipers, probably the closest to a race drone I got, only one that does flips. DJI Inspires, the Phantoms, all about that, but I've never actually flown a race drone, except once or twice, and I never really raced with it. I just had some fun dipping around some trees. That was about it. I do have to say I'm going to get a set of goggles. So this was a really good bargain, and the reason I went with this one is because it's a great starter drone. CC3D boards are programmable throughout all sorts of stuff. I'm using them as flight controllers for planes, tricopters, whatever, and they're awesome. They use OpenPilot, no big deal. It's easy user interface. I'm already missing a bolt somehow. There's a lot of vibration, so make sure that when you get it, you take an Allen wrench and you tighten these bolts down, because they will vibrate loose. I'm missing one on the back left arm because it vibrated loose. Same with the one right up here on this. If you do the servo mount on the camera, you're going to have to take a Dremel and you're going to have to cut the center of this out, because it only allows for about 4 degrees of pitch, which is, you know, that doesn't help us for anything. And in the program settings on OpenPilot, it's set for a 30-degree max pitch, so you'll be looking down at the ground anyway. Take it out, make it work. Be inventive, DIY. It's what we do here. So altogether, this was great because it only cost me $140, and you can get it for $146, already pre-made, 100% put together. Comes in the package ready to go. All you gotta do is plug it in, program it up. I went a different route because I wanted my own ESCs and whatnot, but it still came out to about the same price as $140, and it was really great. Like I said, it's on Banggood, one word, but spelled as it was to BANGGOOD, no space, no caps. There's an app for it, Android or iPhone, and you can download it, and they have all sorts of stuff. It's really cool, but shipping takes forever. I've been waiting on this for about 2 months now. 2 months. But it came, so yay. Yeah, other than that, you know, I don't have much to say. It does come with a foam bottom here to take some dampening from when you land. It does come with nylon arms. They're 3D printed, and you can tell because I already broke one right here. Or there should be a leg. You shouldn't be able to see this leg. There should be another one right here. And you can look, I'm not sure if the camera will focus too well on that, but right here where it fractured, you can see the 3D print lines, which is, you know, 3D printing is great, it's cool, but it's not super strong, and it's okay. But they have replacement arms as well. They're like $250 an arm, so it's not that bad. You can use the Vortex 250 Pro arms on this. Make sure you keep the spacers that it comes with, but those arms will work, and it'll make it more lateral, and it'll bring the props up just a little higher, so that might be better for flying if you want to do camera stuff. But if you want to race, I would stick with an arm that you can keep low, which takes the profile off of the drone itself. Definitely fun. I probably got this thing up to 25 miles an hour already, at least once. But like I said, I can only go about 25 feet in front of me, courtesy of my current receiver. So I couldn't really test how far it was going to go. It does look like the LEDs are starting to burn out already. They're awesome, they're bright, but I've done a bunch of reviews, and apparently they do burn out pretty quick. So you can order replacements or put your own in there. They run directly off the 12 volt from the board. If you're running the lights, you will lose battery life, like 30% just for the lights. But it's great if you are flying nighttime FPV, or you want your camera to capture everything. Turn the lights on, because it will, and you'll see that in the video coming up in about 30 seconds, because that's everything you need to know about this. And I'm so happy that I finally got this. I'm working on a ground station. I left my transmitter on. I already bought a receiver and everything, and on my next paycheck I'm going to get a transmitter, and we'll get some FPV footage, because I will be flying FPV and being able to do some awesome stuff. So, just in my front yard, let's see what I did that was pretty cool. Later, guys. Huh. That motor actually completely quit working. You're gonna hear me breathing. Sorry about that. Hmm. So the oscillating is really weird. I think I'm just gonna have to reflash the CC3D board, but it flies. Yay! And that's the end of that battery. like that. It doesn't give no warning.
Yeah, you should probably turn on those damn lights.
So I found a way to remount this thing, and it's actually a lot farther towards the CG, so it might be a little bit better anyway. It's a little tilted forward though. Nothing that can't be fixed. I hope. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's alright. It'll get my footage. Yeah, anyway. Here, no. Bent prop. No bueno. Bend it back. These Geffman props really are awesome. So far, they have taken a serious beating. Of course, they're a little torqued, a little bent. I guess I have to reset my quad real fast. There we go. Well. So, I do have one prop severely bent. As soon as I reacquire my antenna placement. I've already chopped my antenna off once. Let's not do it again. Just kind of wraps right in there. Cool. Okay, I got a little bit ahead of myself on that one. Oh man. Well, she definitely gets going. That time I lost a prop. Oh, that was fun. So, flying for the night's pretty much done. I'm gonna, hopefully once I get in my FPV transmitter and all that stuff, my flying outcomes will be a little bit better. Anyway, there's a smudge on my screen here. I hope that's not a scratch. Woo! That could have been bad. But yeah, there we go. See, definitely fun. Lost my battery tester pin there, and of course broke a prop. But that's how it goes. Anyway, back to the drawing board.